Am I the asshole for choosing my family over my wife? I'm male, 33, and my goals for the year were to buy a house and get married. I managed to achieve all of them successfully. It's important for me to have my parents live with me because it's a part of my tradition. I've asked several girls about this, but they all refused when it came to living with my parents. My parents, 62 male, 58 female, are very nice and sweet, always encouraging me to do whatever makes me happy. I've been living in the US for the past decade, and I finally met a girl, 28 female, who was cute and sweet. On our first date, I asked if she'd be okay with living with my parents, and she said, "I don't see why not if they're nice people." I wanted to get married before the year ended to save on taxes, but she wasn't ready and she needed more time. We ended up getting married anyway, and this was before she met my parents properly. My wife is half Indian, and her country of origin allowed my green card to be processed in months instead of taking 10+ years, which would have been the case based on my country. However, this wasn't the reason I chose to marry her. My wife and I got along well because we loved each other. She accepts me as I am, including my mental disorder, partying habits, and everything. Once my parents moved in after marriage, she became sad and depressed, started drinking, stopped eating, and felt trapped. 2 months later, she finally told me that she was uncomfortable living with my parents. She even considered divorce, saying that if she spent time with my parents beforehand, she wouldn't have married me. I'm not willing to ask my parents to move out, but I also don't want to lose the love of my life. Some of her reasons seemed valid, and I eventually started working on addressing them. Having lived apart from my parents for over 10 years, I found it awkward to bring up certain issues with them at first. I admit that my family and siblings can be a bit chaotic at times, but they're wonderful people. We are a close-knit family and share everything. Whereas my wife comes from a more stoic family where they don't openly share their feelings, she's never had to compromise before, and I can see that she's not even trying to adjust to living with my parents. However, she does care about their well-being. She just doesn't want to live with them for more than 2 months a year. She says they're still young and healthy, and she's okay living with them if they become sick or after one of them has passed. For now, she wants to enjoy our newly married life alone for 2 to 4 years. So far, I've told her that's not an option, but she's getting worse mentally and physically, and the stress is causing her health issues as confirmed by doctors. I allow her to go to her cousin's house or even her home country for months at a time when my parents visit for her mental health. I'm compromising by living without her. Lately, she's even started ignoring my parents as a way to show them that she's unhappy with the situation. My family is emotionally dependent on me. It's not easy. She wants to talk openly and resolve this, even if it means ending our marriage or finding a solution. I don't want to do either because I don't want to hurt my parents, who have underlying health issues that could worsen. My parents dreamed of living with me once I got married, and they were so happy to be here. My dad gets depressed because he has nothing to do besides watching TV or using his phone. They also want a baby ASAP because they're bored, but my wife and I aren't ready for at least another 3 to 4 years. They've tried to convince her multiple times, which has only made her angry. She sees them as strangers living with her indefinitely. I want to have kids while my parents are still well so that they can create memories with my kids. I don't think we will ever divorce, but she is hesitating to have a kid given our living situation. Most of our friends are envious of our relationship, and our quick marriage has inspired 2 of our friends to get married. She's nice, funny, and well-liked by my friends. I know she truly loves me, but as time goes on, the stress is taking a toll on her. If I let her go, my parents will feel responsible and be devastated until I get married again. Even if I do remarry, I can't be sure the situation won't happen again. I feel truly guilty as I'm ruining her life. I'm willing to let her go for her peace if she chooses to. Everything would be fine if she could just accept my parents as her own, as they don't ask her for anything and are self-sufficient. They are trying hard to win her approval, but she just ignores it. All she wants is me. However, 1 to 2 months a year with my parents isn't enough for me or them. I want them to be with me forever. Once I get my citizenship, I also want to bring my siblings over. Maybe I should have married an Indian girl from India, but I've become too westernized in the past 10 years, and I don't think a traditional girl would accept me. I really want this to work. At the moment, nobody involved seems happy. I'm giving it time. It does seem like everybody has started to ignore the issue and move on. After years, I'm feeling her resentment growing towards me and her love is fading, but I'm constantly trying to cheer her up. What should I do? What is your suggestion to me?